Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe, and this time around we're going to be talking about and reviewing Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, Issue 15, of course, Spider-Verse tie-in. Now obviously, as everything's wrapped up in the Spider-Verse, the family called the Inheritors, who wanted to hunt down these spiders, or spider totems as they called them, have been defeated, have been obviously put in a place, but they're still alive. They're not gone or anything like that. No good villain could totally be gone, so they're not gone. And it was an interesting, Spider-Verse was an interesting reimagining of Spider-Man or Spider-Man across the dimensions, and using them in an interesting way. Again, sometimes we talk about comics and how they don't do things interesting. This was definitely one of the most interesting ways of changing things that I've seen in a while in a story. It's really interesting. And they made you like or care about a lot of these new Spider-Man, Spider-Women, whatever they may be called, through all the iterations they had in this series of books, tie-ins. Now, of course, obviously the Inheritors are gone, but like all good stories, not everything is over. So everybody's got to get home, right? All these Spider-Men have got to get back to their dimensions and their worlds and where their timelines are from. And we start off with basically, obviously, Mayday Parker, the daughter of Peter Parker in another reality, going home first, and they kind of wrap her story up nice and neatly by her going home, obviously seeing, Uncle Ben, Peter Parker's Uncle Ben, who's still alive in that timeline, and finding that her mother did not die, and basically wrap up their mother saying, you should have this, and it was her, of course, father's Spider-Man suit, because in her world, of course, her father's gone. And it wrapped that all nice and neatly, at least her part. And then we go on to, of course, Spider-Man 2099. He goes back home. They don't show you anything. They just show he goes back home, or through the portal, whatever, to go back to his timeline. And then this is where we wondered, what's going to happen with Superior Spider-Man? Because if he sees Peter Parker's alive, he obviously understands that obviously he's figured out that he's not going to live, right? He's figured out through everything that obviously he's not going to live. Ultimately, somehow Peter's going to win, and he's going to die. And so he fights it. So he starts destroying the weave, the timeline weave, and all the Spider-Man are trying to stop him. And ultimately, the Inheritor who turned good, one of the people who saves it, because as the obviously the other person who was controlling the weave had died, he figures out, and when they remove the mask, they found out it's an older version of him, and so he takes over that role of basically, the time and the web and the weave thing like the other person. But because the Captain Britain Spider-Man, you find out his world's gone, wiped out, gone. That he has nowhere to go, and so him and the black and white Spider-Woman decide they're going to be the Weaves guys, kind of like the protectors of the timeline web, and go out there and fix it and save it, and so that's their role. So you could see them anywhere in any Spider universe, first anywhere at any time because of this, right? So they're taken care of. Eventually, Superior Spider-Man is beaten and sent back home. But there is also a hint in this book. A very small little window says, Captain Britain says, don't forget there are other, amazing people like you out there, other Spider-Men. Secret Wars Spider-Verse. So clearly we're going to get to see these characters, some of these characters again. Secret Wars. But ultimately, it all wraps up. Ultimately, Spider-Man and all from his world gets sent back. Our Spider-Man, the one we know, gets sent back to his Earth, obviously, and everybody else, gets sent back, and that's how it ends. Again, it was a cool story. It was a lot of fun to see all the different Spider-Men. This is kind of just a nice little wrap up, where Superior Spider-Man made his stand because he knew he was going to die and he had to fight it. And when he does get back home, he says, I will find a way. I will not die. Which, of course, hoping that in Secret Wars he comes back, because I actually like this character. It'd be kind of cool to have a Superior Spider-Man bad guy and, of course, Peter Parker the good guy be in the same universe, because what other ultimate villain could you have than a person who's just like you but evil, right? And he was a lot of fun as a character. And of course, Peter Parker makes thing, when they're fighting, that as soon as you figure out I'm the real Superior Spider-Man, it was kind of funny. But anyway, just a nice little wrap-up book. Again, Spider-Man books I've always found very entertaining for the most part, and this is again a very interesting reimagining of Spider-Man, being that they're more than just from the timeline and across different dimensions and different characters. And obviously, the Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman is getting her own spin-off series, and all that. Oh, and the last thing was, of course, Kane, who you thought was dead. At the very end, when obviously the new guy who's like controller of the Weeb and the two Spider people were helping him, excuse me, sorry about that, walk away. You see a hand burst out from like the dead Spider, supposed to be him. So clearly he's not gone. What's he's gonna be like, we don't know. And a lot of stuff's gotta wrap up quickly because we got Secret Wars coming, and a lot of these comic books kind of are gonna fade out. So what did you think about The Amazing Spider-Man number 15, the Spider-Verse tie-in? Did you like the Spider-Verse crossover? Did you not? I found it enjoyable. I found this book a nice little wrap up, seeing all the characters one more time before they all go back to their timelines. Seeing Doc obviously make his stand, Superior Spider-Man, one more time. And of course, obviously, you're going to have more Spider-Man than Peter Parker around, because, now with the Captain, Brent Corwin and the other Spider-Woman being part of the Weave and stuff, you could, see them at any time. Anyway, love to hear your guys' opinions like always. I will talk about another comic book soon.